That's what has to happen. Let's do this. What's up, makers? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nate Javier, and I'm just unbelievably stoked that you are here with me today in this video. If we can see, the world is still on fire. We're still kind of locked down, depending on where you are, really, I guess. But here in California, things aren't going too hot yet. We're still kind of disappeared, and we're not making the most of our lives. And as a performer, that's really tough. During the break that we took some time off, been thinking about all the shows that I've done. As you can see, Alan's not here. I'm just kind of in a space by myself. But it made me think, okay, live shows. It was a lot of fun doing things for audiences. And if any of you have actually seen my shows or seen clips of it, you know I love audience participation. I love it when people get involved and get to be a part of the magic, or the magic happens to them. That's one of my biggest talk points. A lot of people enjoy being a part of the show instead of just being in the audience going, yay, he did it, yay, magic guy. And I love that part. Then we moved into, as some YouTubers call, the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. And live magic got shut down. I wasn't able to perform as much, and it just didn't get fun anymore. I did some virtual stuff, did a few shows, and did some private virtual things for friends of mine and a few clients, and it was all right. I mean, talking through video platforms on the interwebs is something a little bit different, I guess, but it just didn't have the same feel because I'd be performing for the camera, much like you guys see sometimes when you're like the spectator through the camera, but it wasn't the same. It got me thinking over the break, like, hey, what's next? As time went on, I found through some media marketer groups that I'm a part of, like this crazy new app, and it's invite only, super exclusive, a lot of fun, called Clubhouse. And what's so appealing about Clubhouse is the fact that they are an audio only platform, meaning you don't get visuals other than somebody's profile picture, but it's all about having the conversation. So it got me thinking, what would it look like to have an audio only magic show? On Clubhouse, we have different rooms. This is how the app works. You go to different rooms. You have moderators who moderate the room, speakers who are on stage with you to speak and talk about it, and then you have the audience down below who are just listening. Think of it like a live podcast that you can be a part of. It's a really neat concept. I love this. So in one of the rooms I was speaking in and I'm a part of, and where it's an amazing group, it's called the Travelers Chill Lounge. Just a bunch of people who enjoy traveling, who get together, and we rarely talk about travel. And we have a sloth. You're probably in the future, you guys are going to get to see a little bit about the sloth. But my friend Gary, this is Gary, he's a really cool guy, very inspiring, asked me about the magic thing. And I mean, the entire time I've been toying with the idea, how do you do an audio only magic show? Yeah, there's a lot of math tricks, we could do that. But it got me thinking as he's talking about the process, and he wants to hear more as I go along. Why not do that on YouTube? I mean, think about it. I've designed magic shows for all sorts of venues. I've done stage show for 1,000 people. I've done close-up shows for 2. I've designed different types of magic, or redesigned magic, to fit the platform we're on right now. Nobody really understands the process that goes into creating a magic show or redesigning effects. So thank you, Gary. We're gonna actually do this. For you guys watching behind the camera, I'm gonna take you step by step what it's like creating a magic show. And we're gonna do this one from scratch because frankly, I want to be the first one on this platform that doesn't do cheesy magic. Instead, I'd love to have it legit effects that happen in the spectators' hands or the volunteers, or I don't know how this is gonna work, but we're gonna find out together. So there has to be some parameters for this event to happen. We need to set out some ground rules, if you will, for the challenge. First off, it needs to be a traditional magic show. So anywhere between 20 and 45 minutes is about the right amount of time. We need to be able to have enough scripting, story, and whatnot to fill that space. Not where it's boring and it's just procedural the whole way, but one of my favorite parts of a magic show is the fact that people get involved and they're a part of the story and we get to tell that story to them. Next thing is, I don't want the cheesy math tricks. Yes, anybody can go to a simple magazine, same place where you'd find your horoscopes, and find these magic tricks where, you know, you add 10, subtract 1, double it, add the digits together, and you get 9. Great, that's spectacular. But what if we instead had effects where the audience can have things like a deck of cards with them, and somehow they mix up red and black cards, and through the power of verbal magic, they separate, and in their hands, the reds and the blacks are now different packets. It's an exciting adventure. So rule number 1, it's the time constraint, 20 to 45 minutes, traditional magic show size. Rule number 2, no cheesy magic, or no cheesy math tricks. We'll go with that. Not that there's anything wrong, it's always fun and kitschy, but to be a premier magic show, we'll have to step up our game past that. Rule number 3, it needs to be something that anybody can have. If I'm going to have participants up on the stage on this platform with me, then they need to have access to some materials. Maybe it's some paper, maybe it's a pen. Normal people usually have a deck of cards. As disgusting as they could be, they could still have those cards with them. So it needs to be done with everyday objects. Number 4, I mean, it may be obvious, but absolutely no visuals. No DMing people over Instagram, a picture, or anything like that. It's all going to be audio only. So that way, as I tell a story or as I get to work with somebody, it goes straight to them. It's personalized. They get to be part of the adventure, which is a lot of fun. I think we can live with those 4 parameters. So in prepping for this challenge, I had to do a lot of research, like a lot of research. And some of it was looking into who's done this kind of thing before, who has experience in audio only illusions, and who could help me along this adventure. Indirectly, of course. One of them was David Burgess, and he's an English magician, known for his publicity stunts and mentalism. Absolutely incredible. He did some radio stuff. In the States, we have Joe Diamond, an acquaintance of mine. He has done radio mentalism for a very long time. Most of it, though, is the people on the radio or at the radio station reacting to something he does there. So people technically get to hear radio magic, but it was a little different. There's also a Spanish master of magic named Juan Tamariz. And I've talked about Juan before, but this fella is absolutely insane, like bonkers. Throughout like the 70s and 80s, 90s, something like that, I guess he's done magic for radio programs or television programs where people can do it along at home, which is more in my area. So I started taking notes. I started looking in further into what these guys have done and similar other magicians who have taken the art up a notch, just so I can make my impact on something a little bit different. Excited, I got my act together. I wanted to test this out. In order to test this out, I got to be able to trust somebody. And now I don't trust people very easily by following directions, simply because I don't have an attention span myself. But I needed to have somebody I could confide in or be confident in that could follow directions, especially if I'm just testing the material. And I called Alan. Alan and I got onto Zoom, and we got together, and I decided to tell him a little bit of what was going on, and because I don't trust the audio only part, I recorded our Zoom call, and here's what it looks like.
Sweet. So all right, so Alan, we're gonna try something out. No guarantees this is gonna work. I don't trust myself to do this audio only yet, which is why I have you on Zoom. This is an experiment of sorts. We'll see what happens. So I'm rocking these beautiful cards here just because they're noisy and absolutely obnoxious. What do you got?
Bicycle Shadow Masters.
Nice.
I like the darkness.
All right, Alan. So for this trick, what you're going to need to do is get 10 cards. You need 5 black, 5 red. Let me know when you have those.
Well, in my case, my cards are already black, so in this case, 5 red, 5 white.
Okay, 5 red, 5 white. Just you need to be able to have that kind of contrast right there, and that's all we need. And go ahead, keep them. Go ahead, separate them out. Keep them separated, side by side, face up. What you're going to do is take your first packet, doesn't matter what color it is, and go ahead, shuffle. Souffle les pasteboards.
Shuffle the first 5.
Yep.
Okay.
And can you imagine people playing along at home are going to go nuts if this works?
Oh man.
All right. And then go ahead, pick up your other packet.
First packet done.
Yeah, put your first packet down, grab the next packet, shuffle them up too. Then just hold on to those. Let me know when you're done with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All you have to do is now hold one packet in one hand and your other packet in the other. And we're going to mix them up. We're going to create a little bit of chaos. I have my notes down there here, so you're going to see the top of my head a lot because I'll be referencing them throughout this. So the first one, you're going to lay one card down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to take your other packet and lay one card down.
Mm-hmm.
Then the first one, second, first, second, first, second, first, second. So now you should have a packet of alternating colors.
Yep.
You got those?
Yep.
Sweet. All right, now comes the point of trust, Alan. We're going to turn the packet face down. You should have a single packet face down in your hand. And what we're going to do is go ahead, cut, and complete the cut.
Mm-hmm.
And then go ahead, cut and complete the cut again. Sweet. And yeah. For farts and giggles, let's do it again.
Arts.
And giggles. All right. And if it's up to you, if you want to cut again, go for it. Cut again. But I'm not going to stop you.
Nope. I'm content.
All right. So now what we're going to do, it's a little bit more of a mixing process. Remember, we have light and dark, red and black, or in your case, I guess, white and red. Contrasting colors, and we're going to give this a shot. We're going to create a little more chaos. So what you're going to do is go ahead, take the top 2 cards, and you're going to flip them end for end and put them back on top of your packet. So now you should have 2 face-up cards on top of the rest of the packet. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. And then cut. Complete the cut. All right. And then now take the next top 2 cards, whatever they are, keep them together and just flip them over like a really bad double. And then cut. Complete the cut. So now we should have about 4 cards face up in the pack. Is that correct-ish?
Give or take, knowing how bad my math is.
Yes. You're a musician. You can only count to 4.
Yeah.
After that, you just subdivide, then it's all gravy.
Easy.
So go ahead and take the next 2 top cards, turn them over together, cut and complete the cut, and just do this process a few times. And you know what? If you get to the point where you're turning over a face down card and a face up card, it's okay. Like over here on this one, I've got a face up card and a face down. That's all right, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip them over anyway and cut and complete the cut.
Huh?
Now let's get into
Complete.
You got it?
Okay, that's my last cut.
Okay, sweet. I just got a notification. My internet now is unstable. Just like
No wonder I keep losing you.
It's just like my dating life. Anyway, Alan, okay, so we're going back to this. So astrology bit. Though if somebody like, since you and I are both born within like the early part of the year between January 1st and June 30th, I would say that we would turn over the top 2 cards over again. So I'm going to do that. But people July 1st through December 31st don't have to do it. Now, just because we're rehearsing, we're practicing, I'm testing something out, you can always pick to be a December baby instead of a March baby. So do you want to flip over the top 2 cards? You don't have to if you don't want to.
Too late. I did it.
Dang, hardcore.
Mm-hmm. You gotta believe it.
Now, go ahead, spread the cards out in front of you without disturbing the order. And just take a look at how many like face down cards you have. I've got 6. How many you got?
4.
4? Okay, we
4.
got different numbers. I mean, it happens, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure if anybody's actually watching this and trying this at home, you may have a different number if you're one of those people. But it doesn't make a difference. So what we're going to do is take these cards that we have in our hand now, the different numbers, we've done all sorts of weird, crazy things to it, and we're going to deal them into 2 piles again. So left, right, left, right, left, right, that kind of thing. So you should have 2 piles in front of you. Is that correct?
Yep.
Sweet. Now take any pile, whichever one you would like. And what you're going to do, Alan, is flip it over and put it on top of the other pile.
Got it.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember how in the beginning we kind of just shuffled everything?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and just shuffle them again. Just mixy. Mixy.
I'm watching you.
So now we've just created an utter bit of chaos in our hands.
Right.
So now for the big moment, we're going to make you feel some sort of sensation, Alan.
Ooh.
Ooh, spooky. I'm going to say the word magic, because that's creative and original.
Surprised you can say that word at all.
Excuse me, I'm gonna say it with such magnificent power and energy and electrification that it's gonna change everything, because obviously that's how it works. So hold on, let me prep myself. Magic. Did you feel it, Alan?
Felt something in my pants.
Bro, that's what you get for eating too much protein. That's really it. That's
Yeah, it was the protein powder.
that's it. Alan, do you know how many letters are in the word magic?
I can count to 4. 5.
That is correct.
Wow.
I know, spectacular thinking on your part. So because I spoke with such fervor that word magic, now face down in your hand you should have exactly 5 cards. Go ahead, take a look. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 face down cards in my pile. How many do you have?
5.
5. Magic, bro. What's even more insane, nuts, crazy? The electrification of the word that I spoke with such passion, of course. It had to have changed your cards. In fact, it was so good that I'm sure the people at home who've tried this along with them had this happen to them too. I mean, if they followed along and gave it a shot themselves. So I mean, we encourage them to leave a comment in the comments down below, right, Alan?
You know what to do.
And those who don't usually end up dying anyway.
Don't want that.
But in all seriousness,
It's a lot of butts.
a lot of butts. What's even crazier, Alan? If you take a look, actually, all the cards have separated themselves through magic. So look, I separated my 5 red cards and face down my 5 black cards.
Oh my god.
Did it work?
Oh my gosh.
Wait, hold it up to the camera. I want to see. Did it work?
All the red cards are on this side, and all the white cards on that side.
Yo!
Oh my gosh.
Let's go!
Wow. Wow. That's funny.
I can't believe that worked. Thanks, bro, for helping me with this. I appreciate that.
It's freaking dope. I didn't even realize. I was just like, okay, that one's face down, that one's face down. I didn't realize that they're the same color.
So that was the effect. I think as this series goes on, this is going to be a series. As this series goes on, I'm going to bring some of my friends into it. I'm going to bring like the people from Clubhouse and other places, and we're going to test different types of magic tricks. Now, these may not be the ones that end up in the magic show in the end, but these are definitely people I can rely on. And maybe as confidence goes on, we'll get away from doing video and then we'll just go straight to the audio only. It's going to take a lot of work, but I appreciate you guys being along the journey with me. And that being said, if you can, click that top link. It's going to give you a playlist that we put together just for you. This is going to be, if you want to learn some magic, that's where you hit that bottom link. If you want to leave it up to chance, see what YouTube thinks you should watch next. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, keep making that magic.